Today, guys, I wanted to like highlight 3 cool things we're going to do every week. So it's going to start next week. Will be the first time we'll do this. Man, this Zoom has been, I think we're on week 7 or 8 now, and it's been very engaging, had lots of really good feedback. I think it sounds like it's really helping you guys, but I want to get more people involved. So we're going to do 3 things to kind of get you guys even more involved in it. And it's going to be really cool, right? I'll give you the 15-second summary of what the Zoom is meant to do, guys. It's called Problems to Profits. Reasons we want you to bring your issues that you have, like whatever deal you're working, whatever seller, maybe it's dispo, whatever you're struggling with, acquisitions related. Honestly, bring anything, right? But it's been pretty heavy on like, hey, I'm having trouble making this deal work or closing this deal. Bring them all, right? So bring your leads. What's most effective, and I think what separates this Zoom from other Zooms is we call, like I'm going to call your leads live. As I prompted everybody last week, I challenged everybody to bring leads this week that I can call and tee them up. So when I call them, I mean, the only bummer is when I call them, they don't answer, which is okay. It happens, right? But the best thing you could do is set them up so I can call them live. Because I think from the feedback I've heard from you guys is the live calls are the most effective. So that's one of the best things we do. We're going to have kind of 3 different spotlights each week. In this spotlight, I'm going to pick one of the students, right? And with the spotlight, you're going to get a chance. I'm going to let you guys talk at the very beginning, and I'm going to highlight somebody. For example, one of them is going to be like a deal maker of the week, right? Whoever brought the best deal from last week, right? Or whatever week, we're going to just choose one, right? So we're going to bring you up. You're going to be able to come on and you can introduce yourself and you can say, hey, I just want to give you guys like 30 seconds to a minute to be like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm working on. And just give you guys a chance to highlight yourselves in the community. Because again, I want somebody who's doing deals and bringing good deals to this Zoom call, right? Because I'm here to help you guys, but you guys are only going to maximize this if you guys are bringing it, if I have students bringing in deals that I can help with, right? So that's the first one. Second one is kind of like our cold caller of the week, or somebody who's going out hustling, making calls, right? So this person, I set this up because I know there's a lot of you out there who maybe don't even know where to start. Maybe you're new to Sub 2, or maybe you don't have a list to call, or you don't have leads to work. Well, we've actually empowered students to give them, I'm giving you my list and we've already set up about 10 students now to where they can actually go start calling leads. For example, I know Ashley's on today. Ashley's been calling our multifamily list. Actually, I think Ashley, you might be looking at were you going to look at the inherited data one, I believe?
I have the multifamily and I have the pre-foreclosure and billing.
Pre-foreclosure, that's right, the other one. Okay, cool. So Ashley's been helping out and been making some calls. So that's a good example one. So for example, I might bring out Ashley next week and be like, and she could talk about what she's doing and just give her a chance to highlight herself, right? So we talked about the person bringing the best deal that brings value on the call, somebody who's doing some hustling and cold calling. And the third one is probably my favorite. This is going to be the community member of the week, right? I think everybody who's been in Sub 2 understands that this mastermind is the best community out there. Like I've been part of several masterminds and I'm not seeing anything close, right? So I want to have a community member that I'm going to highlight each week, but the community member of the week are people who are going out and helping tell other people about the Zoom and bringing them in, right? Sandeep is a perfect example. Are you on today, Sandeep? I don't know if I've seen him yet. If not, you can unmute yourself, Sandeep. But Sandeep is a great example. He's gone out and invited several, like 3 or 4 people, he told me, he's brought to the Zoom. And he's like, when those people came in, they loved it. They're getting a lot of value. So I want to highlight somebody else who's helping, or maybe this is somebody who goes and has a Facebook post after this Zoom and has a really good takeaway and comments and engages with people. My goal of doing all 3 of these little shout outs or highlights is I want to get more people involved. I think everybody who's been on this call has enjoyed it and got a lot of value, but we want to bring more people in. So again, 3 people: community member of the week, our cold caller of the week, and our deal maker of the week. Any questions? I'm going to go to the chat now. Cool. All right. Michelle's got a problem today. I love it. Hold on. I'm going to scroll up to the top. Cool. And then here's the other cool thing about this. Like, I know you guys are good about sharing your Calendly links, and I have a lot of favorite parts of Sub 2, but one of my favorites is the community and just the networking you get to have. That's a big reason why I'm doing this, giving you guys this opportunity where, again, 3 people are going to have like a minute, introduce themselves, and it won't be just me talking. And again, create a lot of energy and a lot of excitement. So I'm going to go really quick, catch up on the comments because I was talking and not watching them. But let's see, what else do we got here today? So again, like I said, Michelle's got one. Yes. And then we got and everybody. Here's another one too, guys. Please turn on your video. I know I can see who all we got here. I got Gary's videos on. I see Dustin, James, a couple different people. Who else is there? There's James. Chimney. Hey, Chimney, good to see you're back. Chimney brought a good lead a couple weeks ago. Shelby. Anyway, everybody, if you guys even if you're driving, I mean, you don't have to be looking at this while you're driving, but please turn on your video. It just helps way more engagement. So, all right, John's got one. I'm going to give John a shout out too. John was the one to help me. Check it out, John. You got to see it today. I don't know if I could pull it over here without messing this all up. But John, I got my Stream Deck set up. So it's working good, man. I appreciate your help. John was really generous and helped me get this set up last week.
Now your next task will be to hide all the cords.
Exactly. Yes.
That's a big issue in production as well.
Yes. There we go. I'm close. I was really close. Yeah. Yes. I got a couple last steps to knock this out, but I appreciate the help. Okay, good. Yeah. And Ashley said she talked to somebody on the multifamily list that talked to you. Really, which actually, yeah, go ahead, unmute Ashley, share that one. So Ashley's been calling our list, but share that really quick if you don't mind.
So I've been calling the multifamily list, and I mean, everyone's been fantastic. I haven't come across anybody that's actually selling yet, except for that one that was listed. But the guy's name is Todd, and he was like, "How'd you get my number?" And I was like, "Honestly, I'm calling anybody who has multifamily. Like, I'm calling anyone and everyone." He was like, "I like that," and he was like, "I'm not selling any, but I can always let you know if I come across any." And so we were just talking, and he was like, "Who's your partner?" And I was telling him about you. He was like, "I actually talked to Casey like a week ago," and I was like, "Oh, cool." So it was a good conversation.
Good. Yeah, I remember Todd. Is he the guy in Casper? He's got a bunch of property, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a good one. He was one of the good connections. Yeah. My cold caller got to that one first before you did, but I'm glad we're hitting people multiple times. So that's a good thing. Yeah. Always a good thing.
Yeah. It's been good.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thanks, Ashley. So if anybody, so I will share links at the end, guys. And even if Clint might be able to help me out too and share a link. I've got this beautiful website now, guys, called Props to Profits. It's to.com. And I went to go log in, and my website guys are doing a bunch of updates on my site, and it's not working. So anyway, I'll manually share them, but typically we'll share that website. Gives you links to where, say you want to be cold calling and you need a list to call. We're going to get you set up there. Say you guys want to bring your deal. Today, I'm going to just let you guys bring them live, but my goal is you guys start filling out the form so you can go first and we can prioritize your deal. So please fill out the form. And then the last form is there's two more, but actually the third one is if you want a JV, right? If you need help closing deals, I'm happy to help anybody. We've been doing a ton of that. We're working like 4 or 5 different right now, like in my, you know what, I'll show you guys a little later when we get into Voxer. But what we do is I use this app called Voxer. If we're working a deal offline, I'm going to create a group chat with you guys and all of my team. And we're going to work to get that deal closed, and we can JV on it, or we need to kind of open anything there. If you guys looked at my Voxer, I'll show you later. We're working with like probably 10 I probably have 15 different deals we're working from this Zoom. So guys, that's the proof, right? That it's not just, hey, come here and listen, which I want you guys to do that. I know everybody's at different stages, but my goal is you not only come here and listen, but you come here and bring a deal, and we help you guys close deals. I want to inspire you guys to bring more deals, bring more people. And if you're just getting started, start calling people. One last thing before we get started, I've highlighted this several weeks in a row. We talk about, instead of the maximum allowable offer, we talk about the LAO, the lowest acceptable offer, where we find, and this if you guys go back a couple episodes, we dive deep into this, but the concept is very simple. We just want you having conversations with sellers. Just start talking, just get to know them, understand their situation. But some people might not, well, who do I talk to? Who do I call? How do I start talking to people? That's why I wanted to help you guys and provide lists for you to start calling. Because the more you start to talk, the more you do this and rep this, that's how you get to where I'm at, right? When I call and talk to these people live, it's easy for me because at one point, I was doing like 30 calls a week from my team that were booking, that I was doing the acquisition. These like motivated people, and I was pitching creative finance, pitching the cash offer, doing it all the time. And that's how you get good. So at the end of the day, have conversations, get on the phones, start making calls. But anyway, I'm not going to preach to you guys. I know it. There's plenty of Zooms in the vault that are preaching and talking, which isn't a bad thing, but we're going to get into working deals live and hopefully call some sellers today. So let me got on a tangent there, but I wanted to go over those forms. Let me go really quick back here, make sure. So Antonio, I have a sub-2 contract out of a guy who cannot figure out how to sign a DocuSign. I think you can help me on this. Yes. Oh boy. Yeah.
I was half joking on that one, but yeah, I might have to go mobile notary. I was actually on the phone with him for 45 minutes just now, trying to walk him through it.
Oh man, I'm laughing because it happens all the time. All the time we're still dealing with this. Fortunately, my assistant Judith is really good at helping with that. But I get it. Mobile notary is a great idea. Yeah, that's probably your best bet. I mean, or sending them somebody, or I mean, you could send them a teammate. But if you're doing this from afar, mobile notary is a good idea. Yeah, but it happens all the time. But those are the good ones, right? Those are the people that not everybody can get because there's a little bit more of a barrier to entry.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks.
You bet. Okay. And Mike, you know what, Mike, I'm going to share this link really quick with you. The link to all the past recordings. I'll pop this into here in a second. Actually, I lied. I'm not going to pop it in there because I don't have, oh no, I do. I lied. Here it is. I'm going to pop this in there real quick. But anyway, while we do that, does anybody have a problem today while I'm getting this link ready for you guys to go? Michelle brought one, I believe. And then I'm hoping you guys got more because this is way more fun when we start calling leads.
Casey,
Yep.
do you ever do direct to agent?
Yeah. Yeah, we've actually had, I mean, early on, I bet that was 75% of our calls were direct to agent. And I'm happy to make those ones. We've learned a lot. We've had some of our best calls, honestly, live calls talking to agents. Multiple ones have cussed at me and sweared at me, but we kind of, we hung in tight and worked at. So I'm happy to work any of those.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, how would we tell you the address for that matter?
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the cool thing too. If you haven't been on it, everybody's been literally, the best thing you could do is just share a Zillow link in the chat and I click on it and I'll share my screen and go into it. I mean, if some people are worried about other people taking it, I think this is such a cool community that people don't do that. So everybody else has been very trusting and I'm going to share my screen and we're just going to start talking through the deal.
Yeah.
Is how we do it.
Okay.
Does it work for you?
Yeah. Thanks.
Awesome. All right, good. And that was Jennifer, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have one you could look at if you are ready.
Yes. You know what? Yeah. I'm going to, Michelle, you okay with, we run with her, then we'll go back to Michelle.
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's good. Michelle's easy, laid back.
I do have to run in a little bit, but
you can go ahead and go to Michelle.
All right, let's go with Michelle first then. Guys, really quick, here is the link to the vault. You can see all the past recordings. Like I said, usually, and here's the thing too, guys, I'm going to go post any link that you don't get today, go into the sub-2 group after we're done. I'll post this within the next couple hours and just search problems to profits and it'll pop up, or search my name, Casey Gregerson, and it'll pop up. And then I'm going to give you guys all the links. Again, usually I have them all in this landing page, but of course it's down today. So we are ready to go. So I'm going to swap over here and I'm going to share my screen too, but we're going to do a little bit of both. Yeah, go ahead, Michelle. Give me the address and, or I guess give me the breakdown. Let's hear it.
All right, let me give you the breakdown first. So I can share an Excel, a Google spreadsheet with you, but here it is. There's 6 houses. They're tired landlords. They want to retire, move to the lake, and they actually have 12 houses, but they'd like me to make an offer on the first 6. The thing that I had a really good conversation with them, and the thing is, I don't actually have their phone number. There is a person between us who's in sub-2. She only joined like 3 weeks ago, so I'm her closer, and I can close people. But here's the thing: they are so very, very like untrusting. So they wanted my LLC, and I told them I was a licensed agent, but I'm not acting as an agent. Blah blah blah. The thing is, they have long-term tenants in these houses. They don't want their tenants disturbed, and they would prefer that we buy it sight unseen, which obviously I would never do. And I would never, even if I'm wholesaling them, I'm not going to wholesale them sight unseen. So everybody wants to lay eyes on something they're spending a lot of money on. So I had an hour-long conversation, and by the end of it, they had agreed to let us see it after they have a contract signed and we have earnest money at the title company. I haven't given them an offer yet. I'm supposed to submit them, give them just a verbal or like a handwritten offer, like not the whole, I'm not sending a contract to be signed, but by tonight I told them I'd have an offer over for them. And I kind of did it because I don't have any pictures of the insides of these houses. He gave me extensive descriptions. 2 of the houses were remodeled last year, like from the flooring to the roof, and they had new ACs. So those I'm comping, as if they're recently, they don't need any remodeling. 2 of them need, he said, light cosmetic, but they have new roofs and relatively new ACs. And then 2 of them need full remodels. One has a new AC and roof. The other has a new roof. And I probably said that all really fast, but there's one.
What were the last 2? Last 2 need a new roof.
Yeah. So they've all got new roofs.
Okay.
Thanks to the hailstorm and insurance, it still covers those.
Got it. You mentioned the last, so it's 2 houses remodeled, 2 light cosmetic, and 2 were,
what was the last 2? Full guts, except they have new roofs. And one of those 2 has a new AC unit as well. They're all 3-bedroom, 2 baths, except for the little one that he first started off with 40 years ago. That's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And that's one of the ones that needs a full gut.
Okay.
So kind of what I did is I ran the comps 2 ways. And so I don't think I really need help with the comps so much as I'm a little bit nervous giving him a contract in EMD when we have not seen the house yet. And he wants us to walk through it when the tenants are there, but not do a full inspection. And so that's a little bit where I'm at right now is I first of all, I use PropStream and Zillow to do my comping that way. And then I looked at what the rents could be, not what they are right now, because he has them under their rents are below market. And I used the 1% rule to figure out what the price should be, and then went a little bit below that. So I think I've got a fairly decent idea what the offer should be.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to share that Google or the spreadsheet you have?
Do you want me to share my screen, or do you want me to send you the link?
Yeah, or you can even share you can send it to me if you just only want me to have it, or you could put it in the chat, whatever's best. And then I would love, Michelle, if it's an option, because I know they're not giving you enough, and I get it. Like, or either way, I would love to try to influence them to give us a little bit more information and or let us see the properties. But if not, you can kind of see how I navigate it. I'm guessing Michelle's sending us the link to it. So we'll wait just a second.
I'm sorry. My computer's freezing up on me and it won't let me hit the share button right now. That page is frozen.
That's okay. While we're on it, go ahead and just give me the address though, if you don't mind.
All of them?
Just one of them is probably fine.
Okay. Oh, the page came back. One of them is 1815 Ramada Drive.
And what city?
You can try Waco. It's in a suburb called Woodway, and I've seen it both ways. Woodway, Texas.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got, okay. Woodway, Texas, Ramada Drive. 815 Ramada. That's weird. I'm getting one in Houston.
You can also try Waco. Just put 1815 Ramada Drive, Waco.
Because then I got a 2100 Ramada Drive in Woodway, Texas. But
Here, give me a second. It's this one.
No worries. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That helps me a ton. There it is.
And when I tried to save it, it said savings not available. I mean, sharing's not available right now. I don't know if that's ever happened to anybody else with Google. That's kind of strange.
Yep. That's okay. All right. So yeah, so here's the property. Yeah, 3-2. I just wanted to get a feel for where it was at. Okay. So what did you offer him, Michelle?
I haven't given him an offer yet.
Okay. Or what were you
give him
thinking?
An offer tonight.
What was the 1% rule you were thinking about?
Well, it
Roughly?
the area's rents over there are probably it should be around 1790. And so I put, let's see, come over here.
And I got my thing working too now.
So we'll be offering around, I mean, the Zestimate is actually okay. You know what? I haven't recalculated this now that I know how much tax he's paying on everything.
Yeah. And the tax value was 215. I feel like that's about.
Yeah. The last year's taxes was 44.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the assessed value, 215. Okay. But you're thinking, so your strategy on this, Michelle, would be to go and buy and hold, or to keep these as rentals?
Well,
or try to flip them.
I'm open to doing a number of things. I don't really necessarily want to buy them. Maybe I'm working with would like to purchase one or two of them. She's a sub-2 student.
Got it. Okay. And is this one we can give a call to, or you think they talk to us, or maybe not? Okay.
Yeah, I can't call them without her. Yeah. Okay. So
that's okay. We can just talk through numbers. So they want it sight unseen. I'll just kind of and I'll keep asking questions, but
if you look in the chat, I did drop the Google Doc link. I'm not sure if it'll open for you.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, here we go. I'll request access real quick. Yeah, this would be good. Honestly, this would be good to walk through the underwriting for everybody. If you could just approve my access and we'll walk through this. Like Jennifer's hustling on the phone over there, making deals. No, you're good. Okay. I'm sure this will update here in a second. We keep talking through this one.
They're not answering anyway. So
they're not?
No. So
see if they will.
Say look at the ones I sent.
Okay. We'll come back. But yeah, for sure. If you or any of them, and even just text them now, say, hey, will you be free? Or is there any chance? Because I mean, we got an hour and a half to call them.
Me?
Yeah. If you can get any of them to answer.
Oh, do you want me to call these? I've already talked to them today.
Oh, good. Yeah, Jennifer, if you basically until we are up, if you could text them, say, hey, is it okay if you can just call me, your partner, whatever you want. Say, hey, can my partner Casey call you? And we can work through them if you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Yeah. And then you can, just let them know I'll be calling. I'm going to call them from a Houston number. Okay. Michelle, I wonder, it's still not letting me access it. Michelle, due to access. You should probably have an email.
Yeah. I'm
pulling it up.
I'm getting there.
Cool. While we're waiting on that. Yeah. I'm give a chance to get hopefully somebody else. So I've got Jennifer going next. I've got Antoinette had a deal. Who else? Anybody else? You guys can raise your hand if we got some other people that are want to make some calls today. Oh, and I'll give you, I saw Kathy's question. Kathy asked, do you have scripts to use in different scenarios? Yes. So as part of kind of the onboarding or call it onboarding, like essentially if you guys decide, hey, I want to start helping call some of your list, Casey, I've got this, I recorded this video, actually did it with several substitute students. And I'm like, hey, here is the first steps. Like, here's how to go find the list. Here's how to go approach it. Here are the scripts. Here are the resources. Here's what to do if you have a lead and how to work it. So yeah, we're going to give you all those scripts. But for example, we call like a inherited, it's called inherited data, but it's essentially it's people who have passed away and we call their descendants and say, hey, can we help you out? Right. So we're very careful with that script to where we're not calling them like a out of the blue, hey, will you sell your house? It's like, hey, I'm interested in buying this house. Do you know who would be, do you know possibly know the seller? We'd love really just about bringing value. So good question. Go ahead. James, you can ask a question.
No, I'm just wondering, you said if anybody still wanted to make any calls, I mean, I'm up to it.
You're interested? Good. No, that's good. I'm gonna write.
Need to do some reps.
There you go. It's all about reps. I like it. Yeah, you bet, James. I'll share. You know what? I'll see if I can get you that link right now while we're waiting. Okay. Oh, there we go. And in the meantime, this popped up. Okay, cool, Michelle. Thank you. So you've got, this is great, guys. Look at this. This is very comprehensive, good sort of underwriting. Really good. I think this is really cool to share, Michelle. So we've got the different properties all in Waco, the rents. Look, she's got links to Zillow, the Zestimate.
Remine tends to be more accurate than Zestimate. So that's why I put Remine in there. I don't have all of them in there yet.
Okay, that's good. Tax amount, the Zillow rent, median rent, 3.2s, square footage.
I will say that they are looking at the Zestimate and they're hoping to get that for their property. I've noticed that Remine is a little bit higher than, well, in some cases, a lot higher than the Zestimate. Remine uses, as you probably know, because you're in Houston, Texas is a non-disclosure state.
Mm-hmm.
So Remine actually gets the MLS data. So their number is going to be a lot more accurate.
Got it. Okay. Okay, cool. And then she's running a lot of different numbers here. Yeah. I mean, okay, here's where I'll simplify it for students, right? And this is how I approach calls, right? Especially, it kind of goes back to that LAO principle. Like, I just want to understand the situation first, right? So what did they give you? Yeah. What's the reason for selling? Do you know, Michelle?
They're older, their health is not very good, and they're just done with it.
Got it.
That's what they say. If there's financial difficulty, they didn't mention it to me, but they're up to date on everything.
Got it. So now they're just getting older, want to simplify. Have you started to breach the topic of seller finance and then being able to carry it?
They are wide open to it. They were not open to it about a month ago when this no, it wasn't a month ago. Anyway, they sold one of their houses and then they had to pay $30,000 in capital gains because these are all paid off. And,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, they own them all free and clear. So now that's all they want to do is they want to do seller financing. And so I've already had the discussion with them about we could pay you a higher price and have low interest rate, or we could have a lower price and higher interest rate, and we would prefer the first one. And they're very open to getting a little bit higher price and lower payments the lower interest. So yeah.
Perfect.
So
Dustin,
I've kind of prepped them.
Okay. Sounds great. Dustin, you had a comment on this one? Go for it if you want, or just later.
No, I just had a question later when you guys are all finished up.
Okay, cool.
Well, you got duty every month.
Yeah, awesome. Okay.
I mean, what I was going to say is this estimate is close for like the rentals, the ones that are recently remodeled. Obviously, the ones that need the other four are going to, I'm going to have to take this estimate and subtract out repairs and a little bit extra since I haven't seen inside of them. All of them, the offers can be lower than this estimate because I haven't seen the interior.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, is that kind of where we're going?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think again, so I'll just break it down simpler. To me, I've got to just got to understand their situation and know how much money they need. And then I'll start to walk them through. Because, okay, if I'm hearing it right, they just want an offer and they want to not before, like, are they willing to have a conversation on like, just got to know more inputs and know more information. But what are they, I guess they're hoping for a quick cash offer or a quick offer.
No, they don't want a quick cash offer. They want to seller finance.
Got it. Hold on.
They actually do not want a cash offer.
They don't. Okay. Yeah. They want to seller finance it, but go back to the point on what you were saying about how they want something without us seeing it.
Yeah, because all of these are long-term tenants. They really don't want to disturb them and have them think that they're selling and then find new places to live. And then we fall.
I've had better.
Really a matter of trust right now is what I'm hearing.
Not bad though.
Hey, Caesar, can you mute yourself, please?
Thanks, guys. No, I lied. My mute all button is not.
And Casey, just to let you know, if you find somebody is talking or whatever, if you go to their picture and just click on the three dots, you should be able to mute them.
Oh, sweet. Okay, nice. I'll do that. Perfect.
Hey, Casey, both of those listings they put up are ready for phone calls. Just
Sweet.
FYI.
You
All
want
right.
to jump to that? You can. I mean,
No, we'll go there next. No, Michelle, I like this one, but yeah, this is great because I'm just trying to think of the best way to look at it. I mean, so let's talk a little bit about Michelle's deal. This is a perfect what we're looking for. Like to me, this is something I would invest in time in because it's multiple properties. They're open to seller finance. We just gotta, and I understand the perspective, right? I've been in that situation where I'm trying to sell a property and I don't want to go disturb all my tenants. I could totally get it. So I think we could it's a perfect one to send an LOI. Honestly, send the LOI. That'll get them talking. That'll get the negotiation going. And then honestly, I'm willing to put stuff under contract knowing that we're going to have inspections and knowing like, I think that's reasonable, right? Like, hey, first off, send the LOI, go back and forth a little bit. And I need to get a contract that had obviously some protection if there are issues with the property once you go inside it. But I've got no issues. I do that all the time, especially on a multifamily deal. Because on the multifamily, you're just thinking about rents, right? You're going to go verify condition and all that, but you're mostly looking at rents. So I guess the big question mark is, where I would go first is the money down. Did you broach? I know you started to run some scenarios here, Michelle. Did you kind of plant a seed on like, hey, the less money down, the better?
well, I haven't gotten that far with them. What I'm really good at is building rapport with people and then helping bring the barriers down. So I got him talking and he spent probably an hour telling me detailed information about this bathroom. He's like all the properties. He went one by one and just told me everything that needs to be done. And I just let him talk. You know what happens when you let people talk, right?
Yep.
They like you.
Yep.
And then they're like, oh, she was awesome. And I hardly said anything. I just asked questions. So no, that I was going to say that for the second conversation.
Okay.
But
yeah, I think that's perfect. I mean, are you ready? And I'd be happy to help you, or if you need help with the LOIs, I'm happy to help, but I would wait to send the LOI until one more conversation. And then I'm with you. It's kind of baby steps, especially with an older seller and you don't want to overwhelm them. But I think your underwriting, I mean, just a quick glance, it looks good. To me, the next conversation is, hey, I want to be able to get you full market. I want to get you the most you can out of these properties. In order for me to do that, I've got to be able to get the right terms, which means low money down. And the way I pitch this, guys, is I'm like, hey, I'm looking at this in terms of ROI, just like any other investor. So the bigger down payment I put, that's going to shrink my ROI because especially when you're underwriting this as a rental, because you say, hey, the way I make money, and just be transparent, people appreciate that. But the way I make money is whatever my payment is to you and whatever I can rent this from, if I make the delta, that's my cash flow, right? I'm going to divide that by my down payment. That's how I get an ROI. So if we could just basically because that to me always helps justify why I have a low down payment. Because sometimes people are like, oh, I'm only doing 25% down. You don't have any skin in the game. Well, it's like, no, it's not that. It's like, I'm looking at a return on my cash, and that typically works good.
So what I'm hoping is you might have seen over there, I put 5% down. That's what I would prefer it to be. So we can keep the whole entry to around 10%, but so that makes the wholesale fee pretty small. But anyhow, what I'm hoping to do is kind of emphasize the total down payment that he'll be receiving, which, will look kind of attractive to him.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's helpful. And I guess maybe it's just a matter of just keeping to build a rapport. And once we've got a little bit more trust, then we're like, we really got to get inspections done for these houses.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would, and you mentioned the LOI, right? So, and maybe that was the one question. I want to make sure I answered Maheo's question about LOI. She was asking about, what is that? Maybe the letter of intent. Oh, yes, the letter of intent. Thanks for answering her question, Michelle. So yeah, letter of intent, LOI. It's a good way to get the conversation started. And I think, and that's what I would do, Michelle. I would talk to him, but I wouldn't start at 0%. At 5%, I might say, hey, again, I use a third-party story, be like, I just worked with a seller just like you who was trying to avoid capital gains. And I would say, you know what they liked is they liked the fact that they weren't going to pay any capital gains. And I liked the deal because I did it with low money down and I got a good ROI. Again, I don't know quite, because the other thing I want to look at is your PITI. I'm just kind of looking at rents and what.
Well, that's the highest it could be. There's a guy I follow and he uses the 25% arbitrage rule that your highest the PITI that you want to be paying is, your rent's only 25%, should be 25% below that. or something like that. Anyway.
Below the rent. Okay, got it. Yeah. So again, and that's how I anchor them, because we want to anchor them on 2 points when we call them. We want to anchor them down on our monthly payment, because that's the lower the monthly payment, the better the deal, and the down payment. And the way we anchor low on those is, and these are, they're free and clear, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would just.
So the stress should be on saving them those capital gains, and maybe see if we can get a 0 down.
Bingo. Yes. And guys,
Okay.
I do want to show this. This typically, if you guys have been on any of our Zooms, you've seen this on our LOIs. If you guys can see my screen, we have this really cool little thing at the bottom where I talk about capital gains, because I say, did you know if you were to receive less than $44,000 a year, you don't pay any capital gains, because this is based on tax rate and the different statuses. But look at that. So if you basically spread out their payments to where they're lower than $44,000 a year, they don't pay any capital gains, which is really cool.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I put this is the bottom of my LOIs.
$44,000 a year, but it's the first $44,000 that are no gain. Okay.
Exactly. So that is the beauty of how you get them to stretch it out. And that's how you get a really good low down payment, is because if you keep that payment under that threshold, nobody wants to pay taxes. And not everybody's sophisticated enough to know of the value of money and the opportunity cost. Most people don't think about that. They're just like, I get to avoid taxes, sign me up. But this is good. I like it. I mean, I'd love, Michelle, if you want, I mean, it sounds like you're working this, but let me know any help you need on it. I think it's what would be phenomenal is if they would let me talk to them on this call. I mean, I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable spot, but I would love, in a perfect scenario, I would be able to get on the phone with them and just kind of feel out. We really want to anchor them and really position that low down payment and the low monthly payment. And then it's like, we'll give them the purchase price they want,
Let me talk a little bit with the lady who brought it to me from Sub2. And if you're not able to call them on this, then I might be able to call it and I'll record my call with them, whatever happens, and we'll at least have that. But is this something that you shared before that you're able to share the LOI?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, I know we've talked a bunch, Michelle. I figured you'd seen it, but yeah, guys, I'm going to share a template of our LOI. I could do that here in the chat. You know what? Actually, I'm going to do this for today. And this is what I did last week, just because that page wasn't working. I'm going to drop in the chat my email. And then you guys, if anybody, actually, I'm going to drop my email and my Instagram. So if you guys want a template, I've shared it with everybody before, but I'll just make it easy and I'll share it right with you. So feel free to email me, or even better, just go to my Instagram and send me a direct message. And then I will, I'm happy to share it. I think a lot of times it's like, just work off a template. As you guys know, it makes things way easier. And then here's my email address for you guys. You can hit me up either way, and I'm happy to help with that. Well, good, Michelle, that'd be great. So if you can record it, or you honestly, I bet more times than not, you're probably going to have a conversation. You're going to get a little more information. But if you want to set that up for next Friday, I'll be here again. And this deal would be phenomenal to talk with them. But anyway, I'm just leaving the door open if you want.
Okay. Right now, sounds good.
But I like what you're working here, and I'm very interested too. And if you need to JV or look at different options, this is a good one. Okay. All right, so let me go back to Zoom. All right, so let's go. Yeah, I think we can go and head over to Jennifer now. Hold on, let me really, before though, okay, so now you just have it me. Sorry, I'm still navigating. So I've got this cool heads up display, which is helping me today. Okay, so Dustin asked, and Dustin had another question too. Is that only on capital gains, or does that roll over into regular income as well for total earned income? Yeah, good. Yeah, Caden's right. Yep, it's only on capital gains it's a capital. Yeah, because capital gains are taxed at a different rate, but it would not work on I'm not a CPA, so I'm not positive on that one. But I have talked to a lot of CPAs over the years on all this stuff. Did you have another one, Dustin? Or is that the one you raised your hand for? Because if not, you can unmute before we go to Jennifer.
No, that's not the one that I had raised my hand for. I had a quick question. I've been calling on one of your inherited data lists also. And I talked to a gentleman yesterday it's a very touchy situation talking to them. This gentleman, it was his mother's house that had just passed away. And he's got the house. It needs work. He's wanting to sell it in about a month, but he is wanting to, he doesn't really want to deal with the house. He made it very clear he didn't want to touch it at all, but he's going to do all the work himself and list it and sell it himself. And I didn't know in a particular case like that, being that, he wants to sell and everything. I kind of, as a human, I want to say that, I'm just going to let him do it, let him do his thing. But as an investor, should I follow up with him and see if he's interested at any point in time? I've never done inherited data.
Yeah. Do you happen to have the address handy?
Yes, I do.
All right. Let me write it down. I mean, yeah, everyone falls different, right? On how they feel in these situations, right? Like the way I look at it is I do want to bring them value and help. I also want to drive a profit because I have a lot of employees and it gives them,
Right.
I mean, I think Pace explains it really well. And he helped me kind of feel better about like that you're not taking advantage of somebody. At the end of the day, you're helping them. And right. And I teach our salespeople we're trying to buy as deep as we can because again, we want to grow our company and we want to help more people do what we do. But go ahead.
Right. It's 4154 June Drive in Billings, 59106.
Okay. And what do you think about me just trying to call him? I don't, who knows what they'll pick up right now, but
I don't know if he is available right now or not. You can try. I mean, I know that there was that other lady that was wanting she's got hers prepared on Zillow and everything. They're ready for calls. I don't want to jump in front.
That's okay. We'll still, why don't we text him? And if he doesn't answer, it'll be good to, as you know, I don't know. My experience, guys, is you go look for it now or you message him now and then we'll get a hold of him. They'll probably follow up in 15 minutes. What was the guy's name and number?
I'm going to have to find the number again. For some reason, I did not write it down. His name is Michael Grayson.
Yeah. Why don't you send me that message? And when you do it, I'll look, you can just send me a message in the chat with his number and all, or I'll hop back over to you. You know what? Do this, Dustin, because he knows your number. Just text him, say, hey, my partner Casey wants to give you a call. He buys in Billings and does a ton of stuff in Billings. Are you free in the next hour? You want to try that? And then I'll follow up with him. Cool. And then we can circle over to here to Jennifer. Jennifer, I promise I'm coming. But a couple of other questions they had is somebody was asking, is that per property, that 45,000? That would be total, right? Like that's just looking at you as the individual. If you own 6 properties, you sell all 6, like you only up to 40,000 of everything together would be your 1,000, whatever the number is. That's not taxed, but that could help you, right? In this situation with Michelle, this is going to help us get an even lower down payment because if she sells them all at once, she's got to keep that payment under 45,000 a year. So, I mean, easy math, it's what, $4,000 a month across 6 properties. We could structure a pretty darn good deal that way. And then she doesn't pay taxes. Let me make sure I answered all the other questions. But yeah, guys, I definitely send me a message on Instagram or email and I'll get you guys that document. Also, the other thing I'm going to do is in the Facebook post I told you guys about after the call that I want you guys to all go comment on and share it with people. I will also share the template for you. Okay, I think we answered all of it. Cool. All right, let's do it. Jennifer, ready to give this one a call?
Yeah.
Let's pull up the address first so I can be ready and just do a little bit of background so I'm prepared for it.
Yeah.
And then I can show the rest of everybody kind of how I prep for the call. But go ahead. Oh yeah, you know what? Sorry. Let me go back to let me just scroll back up here into the chat. I know you sent a couple of them to me. So, I won't forget you. Michelle also shared it. So Michelle, don't let me Michelle, I did that one already. So, okay. Do you want to do, which one do you want? 226 Avalon or Ringsby? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
You both sellers are ready to go?
Yeah, the one on Avalon, that one, he's saying he's gone as low as anything in that area. And he said, if you're trying to go lower than 100, they probably won't take it. It's really hard for me to comp this one. I don't see a lot of comps. And the same is true for the other one too. I just don't know how to comp that one. There's really nothing like it in that area. It's got like 3 structure. It's got a slab and 2 existing structures on it. So, I wouldn't even know. I'm just curious, like, it's interesting, and there might be a buyer for it, but I don't know how to comp it.
Got it. There we go. All right. So I can share my screen. I want to share it so everybody else can be kind of looking at the same property.
I thought, this one. Yeah. So this has it has a slab and 2 structures on it.
Oh, is this the other one?
Yeah. This is the Rigsby.
Okay. Rigsby. Got it. So 2 structures on it, rare multi-use. And have you talked to the agent yet?
Oh yeah. Yeah. A couple times.
And have you pitched Creative Finance and any feedback from him?
Yeah, I always do, but he's not interested. They think it sounds like it's an elderly couple and they've already moved to another location. And I think he's already had offers like that.
Got it. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, okay. So this is a good example, guys, and if you guys want to learn more on comping, like this isn't the best call. I'll give you like kind of the quick and dirty of it. But my thought is I want to show you guys all and try to solve problems and try to understand the situation, right? And try to navigate difficult. Yeah.
You can ask him about creative.
Yeah. Perfect. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Okay. Well, let's give it a shot. I think he gave me some background. Is this his number? This 210? Should I call this one right here?
Yeah, that's his.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So yeah, but I mean, Zillow saying again, it's rough. Zestimate 163. Oh wait, yeah, he's listed at 176. Okay. All right. Let's give him a try. 683.
And this is the agent you're calling, correct?
Correct. You don't have the seller's number, do you, Jennifer?
No.
Okay. Yeah. If all else, you got a quick kind of, if he picks up kind of how I work an agent call and his name, and I'm just making some notes. So Calistro. How would you guys pronounce that? Or
Callie.
Callie. Goes by Callie. That's easier. There we go.
This is Callie.
Hey, Callie, this is Casey Gregerson. I was giving you a call on that house on Rigsby, if you got a quick minute.
Sure. How may I help you?
Awesome. You bet. So yeah, I was just, checked it. Actually was working with another partner of mine. She's a student we're just looking at some deals on the market, some stuff that maybe been sitting on the market. And yeah, we kind of like this one. I'm in Houston, but she invests, actually I invest all over the place, and she found this one in San Antonio. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested. She mentioned, do you remember, her name's Jennifer. I'm not sure if you remember her.
Yeah. She called me a little while ago, said, hey, someone's going to be calling you, Houston area code.
Sweet.
Regarding Rigsby.
Awesome. All right. Sorry, I should have saved you all the time. Good. She set us up well. Oh, good. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to jump right in, man. Sounds like I'm sure you're busy. She mentioned you guys had seller finance offers, but the sellers weren't interested. I just want to kind of see the reasoning.
It just came down to brass tacks. So initially, just a little background. I'm not sure what Jennifer's told you, but let me just kind of tell you. These folks, this property was on the market with a different broker for a year. Okay. These folks were referred to me, and the home was, obviously the listing had expired, and I met with them. In my humble opinion, because of Highland Park in this area of San Antonio, so it's just east of downtown, I told them that the reason why this broker priced y'all too high, because they were asking like $300,000 for the same property, in my opinion, is because the comps in that area completely vary. Like, you've got stuff that's on the market right now, probably that starts at like 70 grand, and then you got some really modern new stuff that's almost like a 450. So what I think that broker's strategy is try to take advantage of the more expensive comps. What I mentioned to them is like, well, these are the type of buyers you're attracting with this type of product. So you the new homes. I said, if an investor has the vision to bring this property back to its original structure, because when it was built like in the late 20s, 30s, you would have something that isn't, market right now, and that's different, and you can get a certain premium for that because there's nobody like that, even though it seems a little oversaturated with sellers in this in particular area. So a lot of history there. It's a unique history. On top of that, the dwelling and that storefront, there's also a separate slab that I'm guessing that was a detached garage at one point. So another thing that I told them about that perhaps an investor would do is actually build a structure there and lease that out, or they can rebuild a garage, whatever they want. But there's an added slab there outside of the storefront and the dwelling in that corner lot as well.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Super helpful. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you just a little bit more. I mean, just based on how we buy, right? Like, I'm with you. Like, an investor could come in and do a lot to this. I don't know. I mean, it's probably not up our alley because it seems to me it's just a little bit too risky, right? But what I can do and what we like doing all the time is, like, we would love to keep it as a rental, right? And to do that, because do you know how much, or like roughly, do you know what the seller owes? Does he have a big balance, or you don't have to tell me the exact number? I mean, free and clear.
That, without divulging too much, that is not a concern for them. She's just wanting a certain price, and she's kind of dug her heels in. And with the offers that have been coming in, and when I speak with her, I do mention to her, like, well, the market's telling us something. So it's up to us to listen or not, because sellers do one of two things when they come on the market. They either sell or they keep it. So if the market is sending us a message, basically, we feel that, we'll give you so much for this home, for the way that it sits and the condition that it's in, for whatever it is they want to do, it would behoove us to pay attention. Because if we just, if we dig our heels and know this is just what I want, this is what I want, just be prepared for, you'll be on the market for a while, and you're kind of following the same thing that happened before, which is, when I got to them, I sell properties. I just don't like to sit on the market.
Yeah.
So I don't want to waste their time, your time, my time, just by advertising something that's not going to move.
Okay.
And so they're aware of that, and she's getting closer, I feel, but at the same time, I'm subjected to what it is she wants me to do.
Got it. Okay. Well, here's where I could kind of use your help.
Okay.
Can we, like, the way, and again, if this is a non-starter with her, I understand. And to your point of, like, the offers versus the letter of intent, like, we do write in a letter of intent. The only reason I do a letter of intent because I want you to have something in writing you could share with them. But what our limit would look like is it would be a low down payment, because I'm just looking at what is my monthly payment and what can I turn around and rent this thing for. And if I can make it, obviously I make money by that difference, right? And but if I go put 50,000 or even 25,000 down, it's not going to be a good enough ROI for me to invest our time on it. But at the same time, it sounds like your seller, the important thing, what I'm hearing you say, is the price, right? They don't want to drop price. They don't want to take these 130 and 140K offers, but they do. Sounds like they're pretty hung up on that price. And if they got that price, anyway, if we give them that price, do you think they would entertain payments over? And I'm not saying over 30 years, maybe over 5 years.
So are you speaking of like an owner carry?
Yeah. Similar. Yes.
Okay. I'm very, very slim chances. I'm open to any opportunity that they could, obtain. But when we've been presented an owner carry, or as one investor put it, creative purchasing, they just shot me down. We want to sell it. We don't want to carry it. I want to sell it.
Understood.
And that's where that conversation.
Okay. Yeah. And honestly, but that's, to me, with this, it's a big project, right? It's sitting on the market. And I get it. We do this all the time, right? There's plenty of sellers that are just like, and a lot of them have to have the money. Typically they're like, I would love to carry it, but I need the money to go buy my next house, or I need to pay off this debt. Right. But I'll put something together, and if it's okay with you, I would, if you don't mind presenting it to them, and maybe now's not right. Maybe now they still want to wait, but if any point down the road, they're like, yeah, you know what, we would get rid of this thing and take terms. And because a lot of people just like it, they just get the mailbox money, right? They're getting it every month. They don't have to deal with that house anymore. Cause it sounds like they've moved out of this house, right?
Correct.
Long gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me put together.
I'd be happy to present anything you got that comes across the desk. I'm happy to get on the phone with them and present.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll present that again. Just I'm framing it up that it's going to be honestly, I might give them two options, but typically low or no money down, and then a monthly payment. You know what? The only thing I don't know, and we don't have to go down this rabbit hole just yet, but I'll need to know their monthly mortgage payment, because we'll have to obviously take that over, and then we'll make a payment to them. Or do we or is it free and clear?
With this property, I need to review my notes again on that.
That's okay.
But once again, in reiterating, a mortgage or lack of a mortgage is not an issue for these folks. I just can't verify it right now.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, I'll just, I'm going to keep it pretty in my letter of intent because typically I like to have, hey, I'm taking your payment of X and then I'm going to make a payment to you monthly of Y. We call that like a hybrid, but since I don't know all that, I'm just going to say, hey, here's our down payment, here's our purchase price, and then we'll make monthly payments to you. And then we'll just say to be determined. Like we can negotiate that if they're open. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Okay. Well, man, I appreciate taking the time and
I know I appreciate y'all's interest. And again, I'm happy to present.
cool. All right. Thanks, Callie. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Callie or Kaylee?
Callie.
Callie. Okay, I did it right. Okay. Anyway, I had to shorten him up. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's a good example of, I mean, probably not much there. Unlikely that we'll get anything, but the more of these you guys do, the more LOIs. If you want help, Jennifer, I'm happy to help you all. We'll basically just create a little quick group chat with me and my team, and we can help you draft this LOI and we'll see what happens. I'll let you do the follow-up though, if you want. What do you think?
That's fine.
Cool. And then I would do the same thing. We'll probably go to the next one. We could still might be able to come back to your other one, but yeah, it's just the same conversation, pitching terms. Like I just don't like, guys, I'll be honest with you, with the market right now and just the time of year and interest rates, I'm not making Vinny. I mean, I make cash offers, but I'm not getting cash offers accepted. I'll say that because nobody wants to sell their house for 50 cents on the dollar. And I don't want to buy a whole lot of houses for cash right now in this market. So, but seller finance all day. So that's what, honestly, guys, that's what I'm doing. As soon as I talk to somebody, I'm pitching. I'm really going into seller finance right away,
Gotcha.
especially something on the market.
I'm pretty sure this other one is free and clear as well. I don't know that for a fact, but it seems like it is. It's been on the market a long time. But the problem with it is that it needs to be, it would probably be more like a flipper.
Yes.
That would
You
need
know
to
what?
win.
Let's give a call on this one, guys. I love it. Guys, this is a strategy that not everybody does. And I call it's like a sub 2 flip, right? I would look at this as like a potentially like a profit share or like an ovation. Anyway, we do a lot of these deals where we're intentionally flipping it but we don't have to come up with all the money for the purchase price. And then we pay the seller when we sell it, right? So it's more similar to an ovation, but we're going to take the deed. So pretty complicated way to do this, but happy to dive into it. But I honestly, you guys could see me pitch it if they answer. Sounds like it's free and clear. It's been, been on the market for 258 days.
Yeah. I asked him, is it a teardown? And he said no. He's like, it's in pretty good shape. So
okay. Owners will consider FHA or loans. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's try it. All right. Let's just give it a shot because this will be a lot different conversation. I'll try to control it a little more.
I told him you'd call.
Hello, this is Robert.
Hey, Robert, this is Casey Gregerson. Jennifer told you I'd give you a call. Is this now a good time for you?
Yeah, sure, Casey.
Cool.
What can I tell you about 226 Avalon? It'll get you to make a decent offer.
There you go. All right. I will tell you exactly that, Robert. So here's the thing. And you might think I don't know if you've ever been offered something like this, but okay, let me just tell you this. You probably have. Yeah, man. So 2 offers, right? Like we could do the cash offer. You probably not going to be an offer you guys like, to be honest with you. But we always give both options, right? So our cash offer is going to be very, very conservative. Probably not going to be great, right? But what I want to spend more time on is, would your seller be open if we basically, because we want to go in and renovate this thing. I'm running like probably at least 10 flips at a time right now with our crews. I would figure out our San Antonio crew and try to work on this. But ultimately, I would want to flip it. And then we would pay your seller when we flip it, right? So my money goes in, we fix it all up. We basically share the risk, right? Because if I give you my cash offer, I'm taking all the risk. That's why it's such a low offer, as you probably know, right? But as an investor, if I can go in and I don't have to finance the purchase price, and just do the rehab, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I was going to tell you, I've already approached him many times about several ways of doing that. One, doing an owner finance. Some guys wanted to try and put 5 and 10% down.
Yeah.
And then another guy said, "Oh, well, come in and put me on the deed, and then I'll put all my money into it to fix it up, and then we'll sell it and turn it for a profit."
There you go.
You know, all of those things, and they're all great ideas, man. I mean, I'm it, as far as that goes, and to make a deal work, I'm over it. these folks, they're just, they're very busy people. They are motivated to sell, but they're not totally desperate to get out of it, and to give it away for $100,000 when we got it listed at 160,000, 154.9. I just adjusted the price down to 154.9. Now, I wish I could convince them to do something like that, because I think that everybody would come out better in the long run.
Yeah.
But I haven't been able to get them anywhere to that idea. Now, if a buyer showed up and said, you know what, Robert, I'll put 50% down and see if the owners will finance. Well, that puts something in my hand to go to them with. But with 5 or 10%, or maybe even 25 probably wouldn't even get them in, Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm tracking with you, and that's exactly how we do it. And I mean, it's obviously to make sure we're protected. But does the seller need all the money, or why won't he take? Or is he worried about, like? Here's my point, right? This house needs a lot of work. I'm going to go be dumping a lot of money into it. So if I go put a bunch of money down, it's like it just kills the deal. I might as well pay cash and use a bank or a construction loan.
Well, you know what? This is something I pointed out to Jennifer. I'm going to say now at this point, good luck finding anything inside of Loop 410 that doesn't need to be torn down under $90 a square foot, because that's where we're at. We're under 90 a square foot.
Yeah.
They're just across the street. They got houses selling for $320,000, and they're not that big of houses, like 400 square feet maybe.
Yeah.
So when people talk about coming in low, I mean, the thing that nobody's getting is that it's already bottomed out. I mean, I don't know how much lower people want to go. That being said, they are negotiable on the price. They just can't do no 100, 110, 120, even 130. It doesn't cut it. I've got a lot of offers, and they're all just saying, well, call me back if they accept, if they'll accept. I'm like, yeah, I will if they get to a point where they're just, hey, well, come on, Robert, just let it go and get rid of it for whatever. But I mean, they're motivated. They know it needs a lot of work. They know it's going to need to have money and time put into it. But again, we have to consider that that's the lowest price. Go look for a lower price house. There's like maybe I just did a search, and that house is like as far as it's sitting at number 7 right now as far as lowest overall price. There's only like maybe 4 or 5 others. Now, when you go and you look at that and you say, okay, those are lower price. Ours is at $89.43 a square foot. The next 3 up, $159 a square, $132 a square, $114 a square. 113 a square,
Got it.
110 a square. The only one that comes even close to 89.43 is at $91.26 a square foot.
Okay.
So,
well, you know what?
I mean, golly.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, that's why I called you, because it is priced low, but ultimately, like, I'm just looking at if it's a waste of time for us to put together that kind of offer where basically they get paid. But I mean,
we're going to need to around 145, somewhere around that neighborhood.
Well, what if
they'll come off the price, but we gotta see something in that neighborhood to put. Then you'll be putting something in my hand to put in before them, and then I'm sure you'll get a good response at that point.
Got it. But I mean, if I'm coming to 145, even if I come to 155, but I mean, here's the thing: is like if they don't need all the money now, which obviously they don't need the money that bad if they've let the property sit on the market this long. Let us go in and fix it, and then they get their 145 when they sell it. I know they've turned that deal down, but anyway, that's honestly the best offer I can see us giving you guys, and which would be the best for your client. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can talk to them about it again, but I haven't gotten good responses previously.
Okay.
So I don't know how well they're going to want me to come back a 5th time saying, hey, you want to try this,
Got it.
So,
and maybe Robert,
try to find a better deal. If you can't find it, please, by all means, come back and make a decent offer on this one. How about that?
Well, we'll put it together. Here's my thought. I'll send you an LOI. It's like a 1-pager. It just talks a little bit more about our company, because we're not just some random guy trying to get seller finance terms. So, like, we do this all the time. You can look us up online, and you can have them. They can go Google my company. But anyway, have them look at it, and then. But and it's something down the road. Like, if they're going to consider that offer, I would like for them to give us a call. But at the end of the day, if they don't need all the money and they can wait 60, 90, 120 days and be able to get their 155 number, then it could work, right? But I feel like they're going to wait anyway. So anyway, but at least you can put it in front of them.
I assure you, I will forward your letter, your LOI to them. so
Okay.
that they can, at least, that one thing I will do is I'll put it in front of them, and if they respond, great, and if we don't hear back from them, well, then we can assume it's a no.
Okay.
But I keep bothering them over and over when they've already told me no, Robert.
Understood.
Okay.
Okay. I totally get it. Well, thanks, Robert. I appreciate you hearing me out.
You got my email?
Yeah. You know what? Let me just text you. Yeah, actually, if you could just text me that email. You know what? Sorry, text it to Jennifer. I'm working with Jennifer. Should just text her that email and we'll send you the LOI.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Thanks, Robert. Bye. All right.
Thanks, Casey. Do you even think that's worth it?
I mean, I think it doesn't hurt the rep, right? Here's the beauty of the LOIs, guys, is you just put a bunch of them out there. They don't take any time. Like you put a couple terms in there and then don't overthink your LOIs. Here's one tip I could give every one of you guys. Don't overthink the LOIs, especially situation. Just get them something because then it gets the conversation going. And then once they're responding, then we can dive in. So I would say 155, I'd say $5,000 down and you'll get the rest in, I would say 90 days. And just leave it at 90 days, right? Like we're not going to lock an LOI is not binding. It's just throwing some terms out there. And it's probably going to get rejected, but maybe he'll Google my company and say like, you know what, let's give these guys a shot.
Yeah. But the reality would be that they wouldn't get the cash until it sells, right?
Correct. Yeah. And neither does he, which is hard. This is why it's hard going direct to agent, but it's not a bad place to start. And again, you know what? Just think of this as an evolution, guys. Like if you're starting to work leads, if you got to work direct to agent leads, that's a great way to get reps, right? You're having conversations just like I did. And then eventually, if you can start talking direct to seller, that's when you're going to get even more better at this. And honestly, you're going to find better deals because you don't have to pay an agent and you don't have to deal with the telephone game of him. Oh, I don't know if I want to share this with them. They've already had this offer. Well, you know what? Let's talk to these people and understand their situation. Cool. Well, thanks for bringing those, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep bringing them, guys. And I want to encourage everybody. So even those ones, even the agent ones are good. But okay, I'm going to go to Owen and then Dustin. We're going to call to your guy in Billings here in a second. Go ahead, Owen.
Awesome. So this is a follow-up on the conversation that we had with the seller last week. The LOI got out to him. And so the opportunity for today is to call and see what he thinks about the LOI as a follow-up call from last week.
Yes. Love it, Owen. Thank you. This is perfect. You are spot on. Let me pull this up, guys. And I'm going to this is a good example of a student in Owen who brought a deal last week. You're going to be a candidate for sure of the deal of the week, Owen. I was thinking about you today. A student brings a deal. We've been working this deal all week. I'm going to pull it up right now. Remind me, Owen, it's got what's the name? What's just the street name?
Bella.
Bella. That's right. Bella. Bella Vista, right? Yeah. Okay. So let me share and I'm going to go pull up. Oh, you know what? Here's a cool thing.
The actual LOI is in the box.
Yes, there we go. And here's the beauty of this, guys. Let me share my screen really quick now. We'll give this guy a call. I'm going to get up to speed because I look at too many deals. And can you guys see Voxer, this app?
Yeah, there we go.
Cool. So again, this is just how it starts, guys. If you got a deal that you want to work, essentially we created a group chat with me and Owen and my assistant, Judith. And look, we've been going back and forth on price, communicating, working ARV. Judith is a rock star. She's my kind of right-hand gal when it comes to working these deals. But anyway, here's the thing. We've been working them. And then, there's his number too. I got to make sure. I assume that's the seller's number. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget it. 512-662-20.
That's my phone number.
Oh, that's yours. Okay,
I can look this up.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Okay. Anyway, but here's what we did, right? So we sent the LOI. So here's the little link. We got the LOI, which I pulled up here. So this is the LOI we sent based off of last week. We offered this guy two options. One option, $560, $10,000 down, a monthly payment of $200, which is really good, right? Obviously really low. But I think here's the thing, guys, is we're taking over his loan payment of $2,207.50, and then we'll make the HOA. So this is a little more detailed than I sometimes do, but this he's got HOA payments and it's like a hybrid. Right? Then we gave him a second option. Second option was a little bit higher purchase price, but you'll notice this is like no money down, $300 a month. Honestly, we probably spent too much time on this one because it's like, we just got to get him something and get his feedback. But yeah, you want to shoot me his number again? I'll call him.
Yeah, 214-566-0596.
Okay. What was his name again?
Jim Barton.
All right, let's try him. Jana, we'll come to your question next and Dustin here at the end, hopefully. Oh, I'm calling from a different number today because I'm using my other phone to record. He's going to be like, this guy called me from Wyoming. Now he's calling me from Houston. And Owen's calling me from the Austin area, Owen, right? I think 512 is Austin.
Yeah.
Mr. Jim.
Hey, Jim. It's Casey Gregerson.
Hey.
Sorry, I got you. We were just joking. I was talking to Owen. I'm like, hey, Jim's going to think I'm nuts. I'm calling him from Wyoming, calling from Houston now. Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a business call. Can I call you guys back in just about 30 minutes?
30 minutes. Yeah, you bet. Sounds good. All right. Thanks, Jim. Bye. Yeah, we'll get a hold of him later. I might be tied up then, Owen, but we'll follow up and we'll be excited to share with you guys students next week. Hopefully we're working this one closer to being under contract.
Awesome.
But yeah, really, Owen, any other questions? I know, well, I'm sure we'll have questions once he gives us feedback, but kind of where we're at right now, right?
Yes. So he'll probably call you back on that number.
You know what, Owen? Why don't you call him back? Because I'll be tied up. Just get his feedback and then summarize it in Voxer and we'll keep working it. Okay. All right. Let's hop over to Janet. Janet, you had a question. You can unmute yourself if you want.
And thank you, Casey.
You're very welcome, Owen. Go ahead, Janet.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
I gotcha.
So I live in Gainesville, Florida. So I've been looking at a quadplex here that I am interested in purchasing. And I've been talking back and forth with the agent. And, the last conversation was that at the beginning, the sellers were okay with doing a seller's financing because apparently they own the property clean and clear. And then he's like, no, they're not okay with doing it. Or he said they want like at least half of the down payment down. The property, it was initially listed at 500. It's a quadplex. And then they dropped the price just recently, like about a week ago, to 490. I'm like, well, that wouldn't work out. If they want the 50% down, usually when we're doing some of these creative deals, you want at least a much lower down payment, So then we've been going kind of back and forth. And I reached out yesterday and I'm like, hey, like, what if we get on a call with the seller to explain, you want me to tell them and why can't I tell them? So that's kind of where I'm at.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you mind sharing the address?
I don't know like how to, I guess, break that barrier.
All right. Is she breaking up on your guys' end too?
Can you guys hear me?
I can now. But yeah, I think I heard most of it, Janet. So do you mind sharing the address so I can pull it up real quick?
Yeah, the address is 707 Southwest 68th Terrace, Gainesville, Florida.
Terrace, you said?
Terrace, T-E-R.
Yeah. Oh, T-E-R-A-C-E, like terrace or?
It's like the abbreviation for terrace.
Oh, terrace. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Gainesville. There it is. Terrace.
Yeah.
That must be a Florida thing. I've never seen a terrace named street. Okay, here we go. All right, I got it pulled up. 707. Okay. Ooh, that's a cool little spot. 49, 8 bed at bath. Okay. But to recap, sounds like, yeah, you're getting stonewalled by the agent. She won't let you talk to, she won't let you talk to, and you're just like, I want to get a deal done and I need to talk.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And then initially he had said like they would be open to a seller's financing. And then he said no. And then he told me that apparently someone brought them a seller's financing full priced offer and they said no. And then he kind of just has been going back and forth. And I asked him, why do the sellers want to sell the property? And he is like, oh, they're just tired of managing the property. At the moment, 3 of the 4 units are vacant. The other one is rented out to apparently like one of their old friends and it's under market value. And he's like, they're just tired. They just want to get rid of it. But apparently they want some of that money to like live their retirement. So I'm guessing maybe that's why they want a big chunk of the money, upfront, or at least, cash out all the price.
Is it free and clear?
So I looked at PropWire and PropWire said that they had a small mortgage. I think they owed like 60 grand, but the agent told me that apparently they own it free and clear. I know PropWire and some of these apps, they lag a little bit in like their data. So, but that's what he said. He said they apparently own it free and clear.
Okay. And last question, did you try to get a hold of the seller and just like search them?
When I looked, it was like in a trust.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like Herring and something trust. So I don't know how to look at that. If you know, well, you can enlighten me.
Yeah. I mean, if it's in Wyoming, we can look up some of that if it's an LLC, but a trust. Yeah. Either way, that's sort of why you do a trust. So it's anonymous. So probably going to be an uphill battle. I mean, I'm down to call him. I got it pulled up here. Should I try the agent just see if I can reason with him to?
Yeah, sure. His name is Bill.
Bill. Okay. I got him here. But basically sounds like, yeah, we've been trying to pitch creative finance, or because that was your angle, right? Is try to get this with low money down and see if they carry it.
Yeah, that was my strategy. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I like it. And it's vacant.
Yeah.
I'm calling him right, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Hey, Bill. Hey, this is Casey Gregerson. I was just working with Janet. Actually, we were partners on some deals, and we're super interested in that house you got in Gainesville on 707. If you got the quadplex, you got it. You got a quick minute?
Okay.
I won't take too much of your time.
Yeah, just finished our house.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So So here's I'll jump in, man. I don't want to waste your last thing. I know you're busy running around showing houses, and the last thing I want to do is waste your time. So the way I'm buying right now, and I've got about 250 units that I own across the country, and a lot of multifamilies and a lot of quadplex. But right now, the only way I'm making these work is if I can buy them with terms, right? And be able to do like a little bit of money down and then pay it over time, right? And I know I'm sure agents get pitched that all the time, right? But we're literally, I would say 90% of like the last 100 deals I've put together have been a form of this creative finance. And it's because of interest rates, right? You just can't, I don't know, you can't make a fourplex pencil right now with the cost of insurance in Florida, taxes and all that, and interest rates the way they are. So would it be okay if I proposed, like, I'd like to send an offer with that? Would you be open to that?
You can send me whatever you want and I'll present it.
Okay.
Because it's not up to me to say yes or no. But
totally fair.
I told Janet, anybody else that wanted to do owner financing, these people are not at all interested in it at all. I mean, you can waste your time if that's what you're trying to do. I mean, again, I'll submit it and I'll have your contact information if I get somebody else, because I'm a realtor. You know, I try to make money selling properties or listing or whatever. So, and if it's not this deal, maybe it's another deal down the road.
Got it.
So I'll be upfront with you. You know,
I appreciate that.
The people are not at all interested in doing owner financing.
Was it just because they need all the?
For some reason, she doesn't understand that. I guess she's busy with work and stuff like that. But and I appreciate her offer. I appreciate.
Yeah, we're just
doing a deal. I want to do a deal too, but this isn't the one.
I got it. We're just she told me that. I'm just persistent, honestly. A lot of times it's because people don't understand it, but
so yeah. Again, if you want to send me your contact information, I'll put it in with my file, and and I'll for sure I'll give you a call back if I get something that will work for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, fourplexes where is it just they need all the money up front? Is that the reason why they're not open to it?
They're not interested in doing any owner financing at all. That's the bottom line.
Did they say why?
Doesn't really matter why. It's just they're not interested in doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I won't push you anymore. I mean, the only reason I always follow up is like, because sometimes their why is a misconception, but I understand.
Yeah, I think there's only 14 multifamilies on the market right now in Alachua County. There were 22 or 25.
Oh boy, he's on mute. Here we go again. Now they're going to tell us how good this property is. Got it.
You know, if you can get the money together and just make an offer on it for cash, I could try and make it worth your while, but they're definitely not. They're not interested in it.
Okay.
I would say you're not the only person that's made offers for
creative.
multifamily. Yeah. I mean, I could have sold this thing a bunch of times already.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, okay. No, I got you. Okay. Well, that's all right. I mean, no worries, Bill. Let's stay in touch and.
Great with you, and again, I'd love to do business with you and Janet also.
Yeah, likewise. Keep us in mind if you do find somebody. We'll look at it. We'll look at anything.
Send me your contact information, and I'll be in touch with you.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks, Bill. All right, bye. All right, couldn't crack that one. Sometimes I can crack them when you guys can't, but not that one.
Yeah, this one has been tough. But at the beginning, he was like, yeah, they'll be open to it. And he said, yeah, with a big down payment. And then I actually went to see the property because I live here. And then he's like, yeah, they may still be open. But then he mentioned like they just wanted to cash out. And I asked him all those questions, like, why do they want to cash out? Why, why this, why that? And he's like, I don't really. So I guess it's a no-go for now. Yeah, the property has been listed like for some time already. So got it.
Okay. No worries. Cool. Keep hustling.
Thank
You're very welcome. And never get discouraged on those. You just got to keep calling them and eventually you'll find one. And then that guy's right. Share your information because we've had one deal that we missed. We did on Problems to Profits in week like 2 or 3. And we were so close. It was me and Keith. Pretty frustrated actually because she was like, we gave her everything she wanted. We wrote the LOI, we wrote the offer, and then she went with some other person. But anyway, she's been sending us deals since. So I think it's always good to tell these agents what you're looking for and they'll keep bringing you stuff. So I'll let you follow up with them on that. And if you bring something, bring it to the Zoom. We'll work on it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Maheo thinks it's his commission. Okay. So I'm going to try this one in Billings now, guys, really quick. I want to go back to Dustin. Dustin, you cool if we call this one now?
Yeah. I never got a response from him. I text him again just to see, but I still got nothing. You can go ahead and try his number and see.
Sounds good. Okay. Cool. And I know I probably won't remember everything, but let's just see if he answers before we rehash it all. Here we go. You sent it to me in the chat and I wrote it down, so we're good to go. Oh, his name is Michael, right?
Yes.
Well, this isn't my backyard, so I'll be able to talk a little bit more to this one and underwrite it on the fly. Wow, 7510. I need my wife's old number. She had a 406 number from Billings. My wife's from Billings, actually. So, but now my wife that I'm using her phone is calling from a Houston area code. Hey, Mike. This is Casey Gregerson. Give me a shout on the house. I was actually working with, hey, yeah, I was just giving you a call about the house on 4554 June. So I actually worked with Michael. We were the ones kind of talking to you about maybe, I know you had inherited this house and sounded like a project you were thinking about selling and also thinking about finishing. Is that kind of where you're at?
Yeah.
Got it. So my wife grew up in Billings. I actually went to Rocky Mountain College, man. And we've actually just in the last 3 months, we've flipped like 4 houses in Billings and Billings has been treating us pretty good. So I mean, I'm really interested. Would you be open to us making an offer on the house?
Yeah, you could put an offer in if you want. I mean, we're gonna list it here in October 1st. So
October 1st. Nice. Did you already sign a listing agreement and everything?
I'm a real estate agent myself.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, no kidding. Nice.
And it's being that there's other beneficiaries and whatnot, man, it's just probably best I keep my fingers off of it.
Got it. Okay, so did you buy it or is it one that you had kind of inherited? Okay, got it. Man, I mean, yeah, so you know the game then. You know how we'd have to fix and flip it. I mean, so are you thinking you're going to list it kind of as is for somebody else to go fix and flip it, or are you trying to get it ready to be market ready?
My sister and whatnot, she's not being very amicable to the whole situation, so I just don't care to help her out in any sort of way with it.
Understood.
So
yeah, man, it sounds tricky.
Let it go as it is. Fix a couple of things in there that need to be addressed, but yeah, it'll just go as is.
Got it. What do you think? I mean, have you thought about list price when you go in October?
Probably shoot for maybe about 485, I think.
Woo. Wow, as is, huh? Wow. And you think? I mean, I could see that fixed up, but you think? I mean, what do you think this thing is if somebody fixed it all up? The ARV.
I don't know, maybe 575.
575. Got it. I mean, as you know, there's not really any money to make in that side. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
somebody else make money on the project, I'll tell you that.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know. I didn't know if it sounded like it was coming a headache with the sister, so I didn't know if there was just a way we could make it go away and you guys wouldn't have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's where it's at right now. So.
Okay. Yeah, let's stay in touch. If it doesn't move, I mean, yeah, honestly, I just love to connect too, man. Because do you find a lot of deals off market, or you mainly do construction?
Yeah, I mean, I find stuff off market. I definitely, I try to do the same thing you're doing. I try to find properties that are either distressed or in a situation and go offer cash for them. So
got it. Cool, man. Well, let me know if you ever find something that's a project you don't want to take on that you feel like that I could make money on. Please send it my way. I'm going to text you my information. And likewise, I mean, I assume if I find something off market, I could wholesale it to you, huh? Assuming the numbers made sense.
What was your name again, Casey?
Casey Gregerson. Yep. Yeah, I own WYO houses. So I grew up in Sheridan, went to Rocky, but we do a lot in Billings too. But we do across Wyoming. 38.
Spent some time in Sheridan ourselves, but.
How about you? You same age?
I'm 49.
49. Got it.
10 years of here, but
okay, nice, cool. Yeah, well, let's stay in touch, and I'm gonna add you if you want. I'll add you on our buyers list, and man, do the same thing if you find anything off market. Always happy to collaborate.
Sure. Okay.
Good. Okay. All right, Michael. Have a good one. All right. See ya. You bet. Bye. Cool. Well, definitely unlike any call we've done on Problems to Profits, but I do a ton of those calls. And I think it's a great example for you as you get into business. Like I always feel like there's some sort of value you can get from a call, whether it's getting a rep. Like these last couple of calls have been agents where probably nothing there, but we're getting a rep at it. We're being able to generate an LOI. So now when the next time we have a good one, we're going to be prepared and know how to speak to them. And then situations like this where the guy, he knows what he's doing. He's not going to sell it at a discount. You could see that. And you could see how I quickly wanted to get to the bottom of that. I didn't want to waste a bunch of time, sit and haggle with this guy, especially a guy who's another investor, right? So I quickly derouted that. And you can't ever have enough buyers in your pipeline, cash buyers, which this guy could be. And also he might bring us deals. So the whole reason why we're in sub 2, right, is connect with people like that. And that's something you guys could actually do when you're making your calls. So really cool. Any questions on that one?
No, not really. I don't.
I'm glad you brought that one, Dustin. Go ahead, Dustin.
Well, we couldn't hear a lot of what the seller was saying, but I mean, whenever he was talking to you, I mean, naturally, you're much, much smoother than I am. But he definitely presented the scenario a little bit differently to you than he did me.
Did he?
Whenever he was talking to me, he said that, you know, there's a lot of work and stuff to be done, and he was going to do all the updating and whatnot himself. And, you know, whenever he was talking to you, he was saying he was going to sell it as is and whatnot. And he was much more open. I imagine that's the knowledge of the area and the confidence coming across in your voice that I didn't have. But yeah, I mean, it was good to hear the same seller talking to somebody else about the same situation. It was an interesting lesson.
Yeah. But that might not be, I mean, you're right. Like I can speak to this area better, but at the same time, I mean, this tells me one thing, that guy might not be a super stable cat. You know, he might be going, because clearly he's going back and forth. And so that might lead me to think, I don't know, I'm looking at another deal in Billings where this guy is all over the place. He tells us a different story every week, and he's in financial trouble. So it's like, this guy's going to sell. And so we keep him in our follow-up list. So this guy might be one too to keep our eye on, to where if he's already changing his story, things could change, and who knows. And then hopefully we've built enough rapport and trust that he's like, you know what, I'm going to call Dustin or Casey, because they're good guys. They follow up and they know what they're doing.
So do you think that I should follow up with him? I had it because I didn't know the situation, and that's kind of why I brought it to you this morning. I put it down to follow up with him in 2 weeks because he had told me also that he was planning on trying to list it at the beginning of October. So if I was going to follow up, I wanted to do it before that. But do you think that I should? It's probably a no-go for the house at all, right?
I mean, I think 2 to 3 weeks would be great. I mean, 3 weeks would be September. I would do it before October 1st for sure. Yeah, follow up and see what he says. See if anything's changed.
Okay, great.
Follow up. I like it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we had one more. We're about to wrap up here, but Mauricio had a question. Go for it, buddy.
Thank you. Yes. I was talking to an agent, and they got the seller to want to do seller financing, and it's going to be a flip because the house is like just fully needs like a whole rehab. I'm just having trouble with, like, they want to see like a letter of intent. So that's what I'm having trouble with, like seeing what numbers make sense for this. And yeah, like that second phone call, that's where I'm at with them. And the agent seems well, so I want to, you know, be like a good impression on him because, you know, he's getting the sellers to open up to seller financing. So I want to like take in everything that he has.
Yeah, man. I'd love to help. So I would recommend, I'm going to share the template with you, and I'm going to make a note to follow up with you. If you're up for it, I'll add you to that Voxer app I have, and then Mauricio, I'll help you, because I see what you mean. You're like, you kind of got one shot. You want it to come across professional. And that's why I share this template with you guys. So, and we can even send it with my logo, and I've done that for other people, right? We can brand it. If you have your own company, like, always feel free to modify mine and put your own logo on it. I got no issues with that. But we could send it with mine on this one, and we can kind of go back and forth on the terms, and maybe tell me what you're thinking.
Okay.
And I can give you some feedback on it. But at the end of the day, it's like, put something out there. And I would always start low, right? You can always come up. But also if you start too high, you can always be like, oh shoot, I messed that one up. I found out this piece of information. This is where we're at.
Okay. I'd love to talk to someone on that Voxer app. That sounds like very useful for what I definitely need. Yeah.
Yeah. Mauricio, what's your phone number real quick?
717-208-5949.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll and shoot you here. So we're wrapping up here, guys. I want to give everybody my contact info here, and then I'm going to highlight it for next week. So if you guys wanted to get that LOI, shoot me an email or send me a direct message on Instagram, even better. Guys, I put a ton of stuff on my content on my Instagram. So I encourage you guys to go follow my stuff, and also go to our YouTube channel. We talk about a lot of deals. Okay, so here's a couple of things to wrap up, guys. If you enjoyed one of these calls today, I think we're kind of a little bit slow in the first hour, but I think we ramped up in the second hour, which is great. So please go. As I said, next week, I'm going to be highlighting a community member from this call who goes out there and helps spread the word, right? Because that helps me a ton. That helps this community a ton, because we get more people in here. I'm going to be giving whoever does really, I feel like, goes it above and beyond on that. We're going to bring you guys on next week. You're going to have just like a minute to go kind of highlight what you're doing. And maybe you make that connection next week on this call, because you got to have a couple minutes in front of everybody, and you make that connection you need to make the next step. So I'd love for that to happen for you. Second thing is, if you guys are interested in cold calling, go to the Facebook group. I'm going to share the link to the cold calling sign up sheet. Also, you can always send me a direct message on Facebook or Instagram or my email. And then last but not least, we'll be picking the deal of the week, right? I know one of our leaders in the clubhouse is Owen. Owen did a great job last week, brought a deal, and he's following up. But man, I've been working with Keith. I've been working with a ton of different, Michelle's brought different stuff. Simone, a lot of different people have been bringing deals every week. So please, 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 next week, bring deals to us, right? So fill out the form and tee up your seller. This call goes so much better when you guys, before the call, like be thinking about it. Say, hey, you know what deal am I stuck on? All right, I'm stuck on that one. I'm going to go message, say, hey, can Casey call you next week from 11 to 1 o'clock Central? And then we'll prioritize yours and go through that call. Does that sound good, guys? Am I right? Are you guys getting the most value when we call and talk live to sellers?
Yeah.
Is that probably your guys' favorite part?
So amazing. Each part is like filling in what I don't know, and it gives me the confidence to go and try it.
Good, Owen. Good. I'm glad. You know, we didn't have Anthony today. Anthony does a good job of like, and Ashley does this too. They're like thinking, right? As I'm talking, you guys are thinking about what would I say next? And the cool thing is when we start saying the same thing, so you're like, oh man, exactly what I was thinking. But good. All right, guys. Perfect. So again, go to the Facebook group, please. And when you guys go and make comments, please tag other people. If you go make your own, so I'm going to make a post. You guys can go tag mine and tag people. But if you make your own, that's what really helps too. Be like, hey, you know what? Owen could go make one, say, hey, my big takeaway was getting to hear Casey call multiple sellers. Or maybe Keith is like, hey, it was crazy that like this agent was giving me a completely different story than when Casey came on and exuded a little bit of confidence or whatever. Like, but again, it's not about me, guys. This is about other people seeing the value you're getting and you bringing more people to this call. And we'll wrap it up on that, guys. We'll see you today.
Casey, I didn't hear. Where's the form?
Yes, for the cold calling one, or which one?
For
all of them. There's multiple ones.
Deals.
Yes. Oh, yes. Here you go. You know what? My landing page went down. So I'm going to post that in the Facebook group. So the sub 2 Facebook group, go search Problems to Profits and Casey Gregerson. Give me about an hour. I'll go post it in there. And then I'll have all the links for you guys. Thanks for following up there. All right, guys. Have a good week. See you next Friday.